Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into my official NFL Week 2 survival guide where I go through all the games. I talk about a bunch of crap. Let's get right into it. Number 1, we've got the game of the week. It's in my opinion, the Dolphins at the Ravens. Now, of course, there's a huge Thursday night game, but it looks like Keenan Allen not going to play. That takes a little sting out of that AFC West matchup for me. And really, how about the Dolphins last week? Amazing defense beating the Patriots. We understand the Patriots, they don't have the best receivers. Mac Jones gets injured, but still holding a team to 7 points is impressive. They're going on the road into Baltimore. J.K. Dobbins may be back. Both of these teams are 1-0. This is a major game. And in my opinion, even though it is in the 1 o'clock window, it is the game of the week. The winner of this, I already think the Ravens are winning the North. But if the Dolphins win, that would be a major, major statement. The worst game, that's going to go to the Jets at the Browns. The 1 o'clock game, of course, the Browns, for as much talent as they have, with Jacoby Brissett, they're simply an eyesore to watch because they're just a complete run-first team with Kareem Hunt and with Nick Chubb. Jacoby Brissett is not a good thrower. He missed Amari Cooper open several times down the field. The most efficient play for the Browns against the Panthers, at least passing, seemed to be drawing pass interference penalties because Brissett was late with the ball. And as for the Jets, do we even need to talk about it? Joe Flacco, 59 pass attempts to generate 9 points. It's disgusting. Garrett Wilson needs to be playing 100% of the snaps. Elijah Moore needs to be playing 100% of the snaps. Breece Hall needs to be getting significantly more carries, in my opinion. We will see when they get Zach Wilson back. I like their 2 young receivers, so they maybe can build something. But right now for the Jets, with Joe Flacco, the crippled corpse, it's just very tough to watch. This is going to be a very tough offensive game to watch. Under the radar game, how about the Commanders at the Lions? That's in the 1 o'clock window. The Commanders, a legitimate chance to move to 2-0. Kind of an offensive nucleus that has formed. Curtis Samuel, injured all of last year, comes back week 1. Very dynamic, almost Deebo Samuel light. Obviously, he's not as good as Deebo, but still used as kind of a pass catcher and a running back. Antonio Gibson running routes down the field as a legit weapon. Very interesting for the Commanders. I think they will start 2-0. I know they're 2.5-point underdogs in Detroit. And Detroit is a team that is improving. They've got some young, really good defenders. Jeff Okudah, Aiden Hutchinson, obviously. And then on the offense, Amon-Ra St. Brown, DeAndre Swift. But I do like the Commanders to go to 2-0. Under the radar team there. Should be getting Chase Young back, hopefully week 5. Something to watch. Overrated game. Titans at the Bills. So the reason I would say this is overrated, because this is one of the Monday night games. They're doing something really weird this week with Monday Night Football. We're going to get to that later. But Titans at Bills, I just don't see this being competitive. I think the Titans are extremely one-dimensional. Without A.J. Brown, they really have no dynamic threat. Robert Woods coming off injury, that's not going to get it done. The Bills are just going to stack the box, and we know the Bills and how they looked in their Week 1 Thursday night opening win. I see them winning this game by easily multiple possessions. This game, 7:15 on ESPN. And again, the reason I'd say it's overrated is because it's a primetime game, and I just don't think it's going to be close. Breakout fantasy player to watch, DJ Moore at the Giants. That's a 1 o'clock game. Guys, DJ Moore, not a great week 1. Baker Mayfield had a horrible first half. They were out of sync. I think the Panthers are really going to break through and have a good offensive performance in New York. And DJ Moore, I'm expecting 100-plus yards and a receiving touchdown for him. Of course, Robbie Anderson had that really long, fluky touchdown. Guys, don't start Robbie Anderson because he had one long touchdown. Keep Robbie Anderson on your bench. Keep him on the waiver wire, honestly. DJ Moore is the number 1 wide receiver in this offense. Highest scoring game of the day, I'm going with the Cardinals at the Raiders, the 425 window. This sets up to be kind of an interesting type shootout with Kyler Murray rebounding, in my opinion. I think Kyler Murray can get maybe a rushing touchdown, a long touchdown to Hollywood Brown, maybe a red zone pass to Zach Ertz. They're still missing DeAndre Hopkins. And then for the Raiders, last week disappointing, the 3 interceptions. They still have a good offense, though. Derek Carr should play a lot better in their home opener. This could be a back and forth 30 to 27 type game, in my opinion. I think the Raiders, surprisingly, the Raiders are 6-point favorites. Yeah, Vegas really doesn't like Arizona right now because I guess they are one-dimensional. Lowest scoring game, this could very easily be the Jets at the Browns, but I'm going Patriots at the Steelers. It looks like Mac Jones should play, but you want to talk about bad offense. I mean, the Pittsburgh Steelers, they got a pick 6, they got 4 turnovers, and they still went to overtime with 20 total points. Mitch Trubisky, I'm guessing they're just trying to make sure that Kenny Pickett is ready, and by week 4 or week 5, we're going to be seeing Kenny Pickett as the Steelers' starting quarterback. Also, Najee Harris a little bit banged up, although the initial reports are saying that he will be playing. And then the Patriots, Mac Jones also injured. This game, I would say, very low-scoring game here with the quarterback situation for both teams, and also the Patriots' inability to really have any playmakers. The next thing, the under-the-radar upset. So I really don't see, I wouldn't consider, obviously, the Commanders beating the Lions as an upset. I'm going to go with the Falcons at the LA Rams. I don't think it's going to happen, but there's just something off about the LA Rams this year. There really is. And I said it, Matt Stafford, the weird injury to his arm or shoulder or whatever throughout the entire offseason. The whole thing with Aaron Donald retiring, sending in his retirement letter to the Rams, and they ended up not sending it to the NFL. There is something off about that team. I think they win. If they started off 0-2, 2 home losses, and especially one to the Falcons, that would be crazy. But there's just something off about that team this year. They're certainly not going to the Super Bowl. I will say that. Biggest question, Dolphins with well, that's not even a question. Yeah, I don't know what I was going to do there. But yeah, really, it's the Dolphins to me. If the Dolphins win in Baltimore, you're 2-0. You get a big Week 1 home win against New England, division rival. You get the huge win in Baltimore. That's a major, major move for the Dolphins. So I think if the Dolphins can win Week 2, we could start to view them as a legitimate threat in their division. Weather games, none. Hot. My God. I was looking at the weather. Every game that is not in a dome, it's 87 degrees. It's crazy. Just way too hot for me. The weirdest matchup, I'm going to, whenever you talk about weirdest matchups, it's kind of just unique matchups that normally never happen. I'm going to go with the Cardinals at the Raiders. This is typically always going to be an AFC versus NFC games. I love AFC versus NFC games. The other choice was the Bengals and the Cowboys. Of course, that game got completely nuked by the Dak Prescott injury, but I think this is a really rare one. I mean, when is the last time? Well, I guess the Cardinals have never been to Vegas, because they just moved there. So kind of a rare matchup, Kyler Murray in Vegas. We don't see it very often. The dullest matchup, it's got to be the Jets at the Browns, Jacoby Brissett versus Joe Flacco. What more needs to be said, folks? Good Lord. Sneaky shootout. Panthers at the Giants. So I probably should have reworded this. This is not going to be a shootout, but I think the over is a lock to hit. The over-under in this is 43, and I just like both offenses right now. I think Daniel Jones is going to have a good game. Saquon obviously was amazing in Week 1. And then the Panthers, Baker Mayfield building off that second half performance, should be a higher scoring game. I've got the Panthers winning 27-23, 27-24, something like that. Fantasy sleeper of the week. How about Drake London at the LA Rams? You could also go Kyle Pitts. So my overall thinking here, number 1, it's in a dome. Number 2, the Rams are probably going to be up early. Positive game script for Drake London. Drake London looked good Week 1. Maybe he gets 10 or 11 targets. You got him in DFS. He's not going to cost a ton. And Kyle Pitts, after busting out Week 1, maybe you can get him cheaper as well. I like the Falcons pass catchers with a positive game script, probably down most of that game. They could be funneled significant targets in that one. Fantasy superstar of the week. Guys, don't overreact to Trey Lance. Trey Lance, I'm expecting 4 total touchdowns, possibly 2 rushing touchdowns against the Seahawks. The 49ers are an auto lock to win. There's no way the 49ers are going to 0-2, and there's no way the Seahawks are going to 2-0. That's another parity game. There's multiple parity games this week that we're going to talk about, but the superstar, trust Trey Lance. Don't drop him. Don't bench him in fantasy. He's a guy that he will be a franchise quarterback. He will prove it. Week 1, you're playing in a downpour. The field basically floods in the fourth quarter. You saw Justin Fields sliding all over the place at the end of that game. The field was flooded, folks. What are you going to do? How are you going to throw the football? Fantasy bust of the week. OMG, Mike Evans on Lattimore Island. Nobody says that, but yeah, Mike Evans has issues against Marshawn Lattimore. Maybe this time it could be different. We'll see. But yeah, I would not play Mike Evans if I owned him. Next, we've got the betting lock. So I'm going to go the Jets at the Browns. I'm very confident the under 40.5 hits. My expectation is the Browns will jump out to an early, maybe 10-3 lead, 10-0. And then we know the Browns, they are perfectly fine and content with just winning these games with Jacoby Brissett. They just want to win. They will run the ball out. You're facing Joe Flacco. He should not put up a ton of points, although it is the NFL. You really can never say never. He could go out and throw 5 touchdowns. Well, he's not going to throw 5 touchdowns, folks. Let's be real. But he could throw 3 touchdowns. But either way, I think this is probably the safest play in terms of the under 40.5 in that game. I have no idea what's going to happen. Bucks at the Saints. Well, if you look at history and Tom Brady in New Orleans, we do know what's going to happen. Brady's going to get crushed, but seriously, I really don't know what's going to happen in this game. The Bucs are 3-point road favorites, and Tom Brady has big issues playing in the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. The biggest blowout. How about the Texans at the Broncos? I'm expecting a huge win for the Broncos. I'm expecting a huge game from Jerry Jeudy, the superstar receiver who looked so good in week 1. They know after that horrible loss, they should have won 2 fumbles in the goal line, Monday Night Football. They got to come back and just crush a bad Texans team, and they're going to do that. The parity game, so I'm going to go with the Panthers at the Giants. And guys, basically what a parity game is, when you've got a team that's 0-1, you've got a team that's 1-0, the expectation is both of them move to 1-1. The Panthers are 0-1. Honestly, I could see the Panthers going to 0-2, but when you look at a team like the Giants, in my head, no way after week 2 are we talking about the Giants 2-0, the Panthers 0-2. It's just the parity of the NFL. The parity of the NFL. You could also say, obviously, that the 49ers are going to win, and that's another parity game. Even the Texans Broncos, because the Texans are 0-1. So there's multiple parity games, and we know how the NFL works. So that is my parity game of the week. And then the lowest ratings, it's going to be in the 1 o'clock window, of course. The Colts at the Jaguars. I also think this is my must. Oh, no, it's not. But I do say the Colts need to win this game. The Colts sitting at 0-1 in Jacksonville. I think they do win. I trust the Colts. They've got a great defense, really good offensive line, superstar running back, good young emerging receiver, Michael Pittman. And then the must-win, there's multiple teams that need to win, but I am going to go with the Broncos. You're facing Houston after that devastating loss. Come on. You got to win this game. There's no question about it. Russell Wilson, I think they certainly do. I've got it as the biggest blowout of the weekend, although I also think the 49ers are going to crush Seattle. And you could also say that's another must-win for the 49ers. You don't want to drop to 0-2. You certainly do not. Dumbest thing of the week, and here it is. So it's the 2 Monday Night Football games basically at the same time. Guys, I love tradition. And we remember, when I was younger, we'd get the week 1 7:15 game. We'd get the week 1 10:30 game. The Monday Night Football doubleheader. Now they're doing this week 2 thing where the first game is at 7:15 and the next game is at 8:30. One of the games is on ESPN. The other game's on ABC. It is disgusting. Another thing that's disgusting, Thursday Night Football is being on Amazon Prime And we all know how ridiculous streaming live sports is. I'm not going to get into this argument with people. People are obsessed with streaming stuff, and it's like, it's streaming live sports does not work. They brag about it, and I'm like, so there's two ways you can stream live sports. Number one, it buffers 100% of the time, and it keeps lagging. Number two, you're 10 minutes behind the actual game in terms of, because you're streaming it. It's just a horrible way to watch. And I don't know how the bars are going to get these games. It's disgusting, guys. The Amazon Prime thing, they do it for money, whatever. But now, exclusively, Thursday Night Football, it's on Amazon Prime, so we can all plug up our computers or whatever you do and watch the live stream lag and go from 1080p to 720, and then, oh, the person brags, they don't lag. Yeah, you're 10 minutes behind the game. They're like, oh, mine doesn't lag. Yeah, you're 10 minutes behind the game. Congratulations. Streaming is horrible, folks. I know people hate cable because it costs too much, whatever. This is not a legitimate way to watch live sports. Live sports, it does not work. I'm telling you, it will be a disaster. It will be trending Thursday night. Trust me. But guys, that is going to do it for this video. Make sure you follow me on Twitter. Link to that's always in the description. I'm, of course, the Depressed Ginger. Thank you for watching.